Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Unity of New Westminster on this amazing day, Father's Day. And we are going to have a special event today. We're singing songs from The Sound of Music and learning how everything you need to know about life you can find in these songs. So I'm going to invite you all to stand up and join with Linda as we sing the title song, The Sound of Music.
The hills are alive with the sound of music. The songs they have sung for 1,000 years. The hills fill my heart with the sound of music. My heart wants to sing every song it hears. My heart wants to beat like the wings of the birds that rise from the lake to the trees. My heart wants to sigh like a chime that flies from a church on a breeze, to laugh like a brook when it trips and falls over stones on its way, to sing through the night like a lark who is learning to pray. I go to the hills when my heart is lonely. I know I will hear what I've heard before. My heart will be blessed with the sound of music, and I'll sing once more.
Such a good song. Good morning. Good morning once again, everyone. I am Reverend Rhona Segarra, and it is my pleasure to welcome you here today on Father's Day to Unity of New Westminster. Whether you are here for the first time or whether you are returning to us, a very warm welcome. I hope you enjoy your experience here today. And if you are joining us online, a very warm welcome to you from all of us here. We're glad that you're here, and we hope that you enjoy the service as well. The reason we join together every week is to consider ideas for full and abundant living. We draw on the teachings of Jesus, who we consider our primary way shower and example, and we honor that there is wisdom to be found in faith traditions all over the planet. There's wisdom to be found in song, in story, in our own life experiences, in books, in movies. And we open ourselves to finding inspiration for calm, connected, and contented living from any of these places. All are welcome here. All are worthy here. And all are celebrated here. Let us begin today's program in a time of centering prayer. We give thanks that we can join together today on the traditional and ancestral territory of the Kakite First Nation. We give thanks for this land, for the peace in which we live. And we give thanks that we can join together in community to learn together, to laugh together, to sing together, and to be reminded of our connection, that we are all one, connected in the one power in which all of us live and breathe and have our being. That power some call God, others Allah, others Yahweh, the force, the universe, nature, life, quantum. By whatever our understanding may be for the power in which we exist here on the planet, we embrace the idea that it is one, that there is no spot that God is not, and that includes each of us. And it is in this field of oneness that we extend a blessing for love, for peace, for harmony and healing to every person on this planet, that they may know that they matter, that each person is uplifted and empowered. And trusting that our blessing makes a difference in this energy field that we call love and life. We give thanks and say Amen. Today is Father's Day. And so for those of you who are dads, I extend a very warm Father's Day to you. And if you have played the role of dad or grandpa or uncle, happy Father's Day to you. And if you've ever had a dad, then whether your relationship with dad was one of love, or as we all know, there are times when our relationships with our fathers and our parents, for that matter, can sometimes be a little fraught. I'm going to encourage you to give thanks for your dad anyway, because without your dad, you would not be here. So whatever your relationship may be, give thanks for your dad today. The daily word for today is Father's love. I bless those special ones who have shown me Father's love. A father's love is like no other. It gives me the warm feeling of protection and gentle guidance, and inspires me to live up to its example. Father's love takes many forms. It might mean helping with homework, coaching sports, and teaching of all kinds. It might mean the wise counsel and loving guidance that prepares children to be self-sufficient and ready for the freedom and responsibilities of adulthood. A father's love may come from many earthly sources. No matter who showed me this love, its origin was divine. God, by whatever your understanding might be for God, is at the heart of all fathers' love. I pray they may know the love of others as they have brought love into the world. I pray that all fathers and all father figures feel the appreciation of those that they teach, those that they love, and those that they protect. This reading was inspired by the book of Isaiah, chapter 39, verse 19. May they know, fathers, make known to children your faithfulness. Today we're going to do something a little differently because we're going to do Sound of Music, stories and songs, and then thoughts about the stories, the songs. And so I'm just going to briefly read the announcements for you now. We're not going to have an official offering song. So if you would like to donate to our ministry here, then please leave your donation in the basket, which will be at the door at the end. And we'll keep the announcements mercifully brief today, we hope. First, please join us on Zoom tomorrow for Monday meditation from 10:30 until 11:15. We check in with each other, we enjoy a guided meditation, and we uplift and acknowledge each person as we read the names of the people on our prayer list. We may be changing the time of our prayer service. It might end up being like a Monday evening or a Tuesday evening. More to come in the next few weeks. Our next Wednesday evening group will be in the fall. What we found is that as summer approaches, we're all much preferring to be outside than even playing cards and laughing and eating snacks like crazy. And so we're going to put things off until the fall, and then we're going to start again. And we'll just go straight to the gifts. We are fully supported here at Unity of New Westminster by the donations and contributions of the people in our community. So if you like what we do and you appreciate this place, then we really appreciate your gifts to make that continue. Many of us contribute with pre-authorized payments, which are especially helpful for our budgeting. And for our online viewers, you'll find a donation link in the description of the recording today. When you give, please give from a place of abundance and gratitude. We are truly grateful for your contributions. And now, having said that, I'm going to switch gears and go straight into some thoughts about the sound of music. As I do that, I want to welcome again our beautiful and talented Linda Kidder, who is going to lead us through music today and she's inspiring for me in so many ways. You have such a heart, and you're so lovely. So thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I feel the same about you. Thank you.
Oh, that's sweet. It was several years ago. I was actually at seminary, and I was doing a course on metaphysical interpretation. And at the same time, you know, you're not just doing one thing at a time. I was driving or somewhere, and they were doing an interview on the radio about the sound of music, because at that time it was in its 50th or 55th or something anniversary. And as I listened to some of the songs, keeping in mind this metaphysical class that I was taking, I realized that much of what we hear in the songs from The Sound of Music are lessons for life for all of us. And so it was one of those light bulb moments for me of, wow. And I'm only half joking when I say all you need to know about life you can learn from the songs in The Sound of Music. So today we're going to have an excuse not just to sing some of our favorite songs, but also to consider the wisdom behind the message and how they apply to our lives today. They can serve as reminders, so every time you hear the song, it can help to remind you about an aspect of your life that you may want to consider improving. Just very briefly about the movie. It was released in 1965. It is now 60 years old. Adjusted for inflation, The Sound of Music is the 6th highest grossing film of all time. Anybody guess what the first one is? Star Wars. No, it's up. Star Wars is up there. Gone with the Wind. Oh. Gone with the Wind is the first. I digress. It was the last work that Rodgers and Hammerstein collaborated on. And it is loosely based on a true story, which is the story of the von Trapp family, which it lived in Austria, and their journey out of Germany, out of Austria, and to the United States, which is where they settled. At that point, in real life, Maria von Trapp was a 19-year-old novice at an abbey, and she was sent, as we see in the movie, to be a tutor to the naval commander Georg von Trapp. The family became well known as the von Trapp family choir. And they also, as we see in the movie, I hope I'm not blowing any surprises here, they won the Salzburg Music Festival in 1936. So all of these things are true. And they became quite successful in the country. In 1938, the Nazis annexed Austria. And the von Trapps realized that they were on thin ice because Georg refused to fly the Nazi flag. He refused also a naval command, and he declined a request to sing at Hitler's birthday party. As time went on, they realized that this was a path that was not going to get better for them. And so they made plans to leave Austria. And that's the place where the movie and reality actually do differ. Because in the movie, we see the family escaping over the mountains. In real life, they took a train to Italy and then came to the United States. It's still a powerful story, though, isn't it? And in some ways, it's very uncomfortably relevant today. And that's not what I want to talk about today. What I want to talk about is how taking this book that was written by Maria von Trapp and creating a musical has highlighted the power of standing in your own truth and making that journey. But by making it a musical, it made it so it's relevant and interesting and memorable today. So we know the story that we otherwise may never have known if it was a stage play, for example. The songs help carry the story. Let's look at the songs. We started today with The Sound of Music. And in this song we sing, "The hills are alive with songs they have sung for 1,000 years." Then we hear, "The hills fill my heart with the sound of music." And then, "My heart wants to sing every song it hears." There are two things I'd like to explore in this. The first is the idea of the hills being alive, going to the hills. What do hills and mountains represent? They represent endurance. They represent steadiness. They also represent a higher consciousness, an idea of taking a higher road, going to a place that is higher in energy and vibration and consciousness. In the Bible, the hills represent the place where we can get closer to God. "Lift thine eyes to the mountains. Unto the hills above will I lift my eyes." The 10 Commandments received on a mountain. Jesus, we are told, went into the hills to pray. They became a place to experience God. Now, of course, at Unity, we don't believe that God is only in the hills. God is it. God is all. But they are a metaphor for that higher place that we can go to, where we can step out of our perhaps habitual thinking and habitual feeling and choose to transcend some of the valleys that we may be in. Music represents vibrations of harmony and beauty. It doesn't say sound, it says music. Music implies that there is joyful cohesion of music and song. Singing itself is an indicator of joy and peace. I heard recently that there are places in Africa where there are religious sects that do not want people to hum or sing. It's a way of keeping people oppressed to do that. Our natural joy is to express with song, even if you're singing the blues. And singing itself has been proven to have measurable health effects. Increased oxygen to the brain, improved mental alertness, decrease in stress hormones, increase in dopamine, that feel-good hormone. If it's a choice between chocolate and singing, one doesn't go on your hips. I kind of like them both, though. But dopamine, that thing that makes us feel good, sing. The thing is that our hearts want to sing. Those are the words in the song. Our hearts want to sing. Well, don't our hearts long for calm and harmony and connection and contentment? So if we took a look at these words, we're invited to go to the hills when our hearts are lonely. It's as if we're being encouraged to lift up a little higher, to turn from whatever may be distracting us and shift into a place of a higher awareness. And when we do that, we will connect with the solid wisdom that is found as the mountain. And then we sing once more. When I feel lonely, I choose a higher place, a place that is enduring 1,000 years. I know that in this place I will be restored and calmed by the vibration of harmony and beauty. I will find peace, and I will sing once more. Isn't that a lovely way of looking at the song? When your hearts are lonely, go high. Your heart will be blessed with harmony and peace, and you'll sing once more. All of that just from that one song. The song we're going to sing next is How Do You Solve a Problem Like Maria? Now, what is it about this song that makes things that I say, we can, everything we need to learn about life, we can learn from The Sound of Music? Well, in this song, we see the power of the judgments we make and the humanness of it. So for context, Maria is a free spirit and she's out in the mountains restoring herself and enjoying being out there touching the harmony of life. And down on the ground in the abbey, the nuns are nattering because she is late again. And what do we see? Differences of opinion. One person sees our hero, Maria, as a flipperty-gibbet, like just somebody who can't be relied on for anything. Somebody else as a will-o'-the-wisp. Another as a demon. Another as an angel, another as a darling, another as a clown. And then we see the Mother Abbess come into the picture and say, she's a girl. Now, what can we learn from that? Well, in our outer world, let us be completely non-surprised when we have other people who look at a situation and some see it as good and some see it as not so much. And when they look at us and we do something and some of us will say some people will say to us about our behavior, that was awesome, and other people will say to us, that was a thumbs down. Why? Because all of it is included in our human experience. She's a girl. And where I think this becomes most noticeable and most important for us, perhaps, is how we speak to ourselves, because metaphysics is in us. So we have all of these different points of view right within us. So there are times we'll do something and we'll have a little nun saying, that was a clown, and somebody else saying, you're still an angel, and somebody else saying, you're a flipperty-gibbet, and somebody else saying, you're a will-o'-the-wisp. All in our heads. And what would we want to do? Go to the hills, find the abyss, the wisdom that says, welcome to having a heartbeat, you're human. The other part is we can sometimes be the nun doing that to other people, where we're casting aspersions on other people. We're saying things and making value judgments about other people based on our point of view. I think it's really interesting that this very clever song is written to be sung by the characters who are nuns. Because you'd think nuns are, pretty evolved people. And so to have them standing around and chit-chatting about the benefits or the drawbacks of a person is no different than any of us might do when that person isn't here and we're just blah, blah, blah. Perhaps we could learn from the nuns to not be like that, to recognize that what our opinion may be is just one point of view. It need not be the whole truth, because the truth is the person we're speaking about also is just a human. She's a girl. She's a boy. She's a man. She's a man. He's a man. She's a woman. They are they. How do you solve a problem like Maria? There's no problem. Can we embrace that idea? Think of how your relationships would improve if you could just remember this one song as you judge your neighbor. Shall we stand up and sing it? Yeah.
Sure, of course. She climbs a tree and scrapes her knee. Her dress has got a tear. She waltzes on her way to Mass and whistles on the stair. And underneath her wimple she has curlers in her hair. I even heard her singing in the Abbey. She's always late for chapel, but her penitence is real. She's always late for everything except for every meal. I hate to have to say it, but I very firmly feel Maria's not an asset to the Abbey. I'd like to say a word on her behalf. Maria makes me laugh. How do you solve a problem like Maria? How do you catch a cloud and pin it down? How do you find a word that means Maria? A flibber-a-gibbet, a will-o'-the-wisp, a clown. Many a thing you'd know you'd like to tell her. Many a thing she ought to understand. But how do you make her stay and listen to all you say? And how do you keep a wave upon the sand? Oh, how do you solve a problem like Maria? How do you hold a moonbeam in your hand? When I'm with her, I'm confused, out of focus and bemused, and I never know exactly where I am. Unpredictable as weather, she's as flighty as a feather. She's a darling, she's a demon, she's a lamb. She'd outpester any pest, drive a hornet from its nest. She could throw a whirling dervish out of whirl. She is gentle, she is wild, she's a whittle, she's a child, she's a headache, she's an angel, she's a girl. So how do you solve a problem like Maria? How do you catch a cloud and pin it down? How do you find a word that means Maria? A flibber-a-gibbet, a will-o'-the-wisp, a clown. Many a thing you'd know you'd like to tell her. many a thing she ought to understand. But how do you make her stay and listen to all you say? And how do you keep a wave upon the sand? Oh, how do you solve a problem like Maria? How do you hold a moonbeam in your hand? Thank you.
Yeah, that's a lot of lines to sing, isn't it?
And a million chords. Thank you.
A million chords. That was beautiful, beautiful. Totally fun. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at my favorite things. And in the context of the movie, what we see is that this is Maria's first night as the governess, taking care of these 6 children. Well, these 6 children have lost their mom. Their mom has passed away. And they have, understandably, not been warm and welcoming to someone else to come in and try and take care of them, while their dad is a busy person in the Navy. And so they've been playing tricks on every single governess, and every single governess has fled the scene. And now we have Maria, who is meeting them a little bit more where they are, but there's still an element of mistrust with her. And it's her first night there. And there is a storm. And so she's asleep, there's a storm, and one by one, these little ones come running to her for comfort. And what she does is what we consider as, in many ways, Unity's third principle, which is ideas lead to experiences. And she takes something that is a place of fear for them, and she gives them a tool to help them get centered again with themselves and deal with their fear. And she does it by singing this song. Painful things, fearful things will happen to us in our lives too. Storms will come into our lives too. And when we're running to try and find comfort somewhere, if we go to a place like Maria, who represents wisdom again, in this case, a place of comfort, we can remember what she tells them, which is there something that I can shift to bring my focus away from that thing that's terrifying me? And why do we want to do that? Well, in the case of the kids, they instinctively knew that they were out of their minds and they needed to go and find Maria. When we are afraid, we don't think clearly. And sometimes as a result, we say things, we do things, we don't do things that have negative repercussions. So one of the things that we want to do when we're in a place of anxiety or stress or fear is to get ourselves back to a place where we can engage our brain. And one way we do that is to think about things that bring us joy, that give us a smile. The Heart Math Institute in California has done research to show that when you think of things that bring you joy, you engage your heart, and when your heart beats starts to become more regular, it engages your brain, and your brain starts to function more clearly because your breathing functions more clearly, and oxygen gets to your brain, and so on and so on. So the key is to touch your heart. When you're out of your mind, touch your heart. And the way to do that is to think about your favorite things. The thing is, many of us don't know what our favorite things are. We don't always know what it is that we can turn to as strategies to break that cycle of fear. So I'm going to encourage you to think of a basket, like a Christmas basket, or my granddaughter just had her second birthday party yesterday, and so she's got these bags that have tissue in them, and she's more interested in the tissue, of course. But starting to get what's in the bag too now. But this idea of having something that you can pick out as a present that will warm your heart. So I'm going to encourage you to think of that. Create a basket for yourself or a gift bag for yourself of things that will help you, so that if you're in a place where it just seems like everything is scary and out of control, that you can think of these favorite things. One of my favorite Bible verses is from Paul's letter to the Philippians, and it's in chapter 4, verse 8. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about these things. Remember the movie Bridge of Spies? It's many, many years ago. The character in there is Tom Hanks. And he's like the person from the CIA. And he's speaking to some guy who's in deep, deep trouble. He's a spy, his cover is blown or something like that. And Tom Hanks looks at this guy and he says, "Why are you so calm?" And the response stuck with me like another light bulb moment. 3 words. Will it help? To be upset and freaking out never helps a situation. Think of your favorite things. Then it won't feel so bad. Then you can look at it and decide what to do. Moves you from reaction to response. So, let's sing.
Okay.
My favorite things.
Raindrops and roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages filled up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things. Cream-colored ponies and crisp apple strudels, doorbells and sleigh bells and schnitzel and noodles, wild geese that fly with the moon on their wings. These are a few of my favorite things. Girls in white dresses with blue satin sashes, snowflakes that stay on my nose and eyelashes, silver white whiskers that melt into spring. These are a few of my favorite things. When the dog bites, when the bee stings, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember my favorite things, and then I don't feel so bad. Wanna do it again? Raindrops on roses and whispers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things. Cream-colored ponies and crisp apple strudels, doorbells and sleigh bells and schnitzel and noodles, white geese that fly with the moon on their wings. These are a few of my favorite things. Girls in white dresses with blue satin sashes, snowflakes that stay on my nose and eyelashes, silver white winters that melt into spring. These are a few of my favorite things. When the dog bites, when the bee stings, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember my favorite things, and then I don't feel so bad, so bad. Then I don't feel so bad, then I don't feel so bad.
You know, what occurred to me as we were singing that is, notice she had a basket full of different things. So if one strategy is not working, switch to another and another and another. Think of your favorite things. Do, re, mi. The children have never learned to sing, and they know nothing about music. And of course, Maria loves music. So she tries to teach these children how to sing and makes the mistake of trying to teach them the technical part. So it doesn't work. And then she does what we all do with children. She teaches them to put the technical jargon into music. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We teach kids the alphabet by having them sing the letters to Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. How many of you even realized it was the same tune? How do we learn the colors of the rainbow or the order of the planets? My very educated mother just served us 9, and poor pizzas are no longer part of the planets, right? Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Pluto. These little mnemonics help us to learn the technical part. And they help us to remember. So Maria thinks, okay, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to teach them the language of music, and I'm going to do it to song. And that's what do, re, mi is. Because do, re, mi, fa, so are intervals in music. You know, and the thing that makes them nice is that if you go to a piano and you do middle C, and then you go middle, and then you go to D, and so on, and you do a scale, well, that's great. With do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, it doesn't matter what the chord is, whether it's C major or D or whatever, and I don't know enough about music to be able to really educate you on this, except to say that whatever key you're playing in, the intervals are always going to be, if you're doing do, mi, so, it doesn't matter if you're playing starting at C or you're playing starting at E. So it's actually more universal in many ways. And There used to be, can't find them anymore, and I wish I'd kept my grandfather's old hymn book because it was written in tonic solfa. That's what this language is called. So his music notes were do, and then a dash, and then whatever, and then a dash, and so on. So she teaches them do-a-dia. And as I said, these intervals are, as I'm saying them, do, mi, mi, that's moving a third in music. Who cares? One of the kids says, but it doesn't mean anything. And she says, when you know the notes to sing, you can sing most anything. And then she puts words to the music. How is this related to us here? Well, in many ways, this is like Unity's fifth principle, which is it's not enough to know it. You gotta live it. It's not enough to know the technical jargon. If you're saying beautiful, sweet things on one hand and living a life that isn't, or saying, I'm a religious or spiritual person, and then going to judge someone, and so on. So it's important to actually live the principles. And it's not always easy to do, is it? So what do we find with musicians? To become masters, what do? They practice, and they practice, and they practice. And when do they get perfect? Never. It doesn't matter how good the musician is and how many hours of practice they put in, they always consider that there is more to learn, that they're not always going to get it right. Practice does not make perfect. Practice makes progress. Our words are our wand. What we do, and particularly what we say, are like these music notes that we play. And there are times when we absolutely nail it. And there are times when we absolutely blow it. And at those times when we blow it, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, start all over again, and if it makes sense and it's appropriate and necessary, apologize. I blew it. I'm going to work to do that better next time. What's our do-re-mi here at Unity? One universal power, a network of all. Ideas lead to experiences. Take time to be still, you'll live in peace. If peace isn't there, take time to be still and question your thinking. What other idea could add more peace? You blow it, try and think of that. Take time to be still. Question your thinking. Make amends. And what can I do next time? And remember, you're just a girl or a boy. It's included. Practice does not make perfect, it makes progress. That's, for me, what do-re-mi is all about. It's that it's not enough to know it. We have to practice it. Shall we sing it? Yeah. This one we used to sing. We used to take Sunday drives every Sunday afternoon and in the car. This is what my parents used to do to keep us from fighting each other. We didn't know that's what they were doing at the time. We just thought we were singing. So we're going to sing.
Oh, they were clever, weren't they? Let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. When you read, you begin with A, B, C. When you sing, you begin with do, re, mi. Do, re, mi. The first three notes just happen to be do, re, mi. Do, re, mi. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, a deer, a female deer. Re, a drop of golden sun. Me, a name I call myself. Fa, a long, long way to run. So, a needle pulling thread. No, a note to follow. So, tea, a drink with jam and bread that will bring us back to do, 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 do. A deer, a female deer. Ray, a drop of golden sun. Me, a name I call myself. Far, a long, long way to run. So, a needle pulling thread. La, a note to follow. So, tea, a drink with jam and bread that will bring us back to do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, do, do. Thank you. Can I just say one thing? I learned as a little girl how to spell encyclopedia when I was about 4 years old because of Walt Disney's Jiminy Cricket. And it was like, it's the encyclopedia, ENCYCLOPEDIA. Big word for a little kid, but through music, so that's so true.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Music. Music helps to bring things in.
Oh my God, it's everything. It is, it is. A world without music. Holy cow.
Can you imagine not being allowed to sing or hum? Oh.
No.
So sad. 16 going on 17. When I was a teenager, I wanted to be this 16-year-old so badly. I see other people nodding. I wanted to be romanced by this knight in shining armor, and I wanted to dance, and just like the whole romantic feel was beautiful. And I was sharing some of this with my friend Erin, and we were talking about the song, because we were talking about this, I've done this as a workshop, this Sound of Music, this talk actually as a workshop. And he said, yeah, so, you know, that 16 going on 17, it's a real thing about like gender roles and power differentials. And I'm like, what? I was like, no, it's about romance and boy meets girl. And it really kind of busted my bubble. And then I started to really think about the words in this song. And it's true that it is, in many ways, even though it's nice and romantic, it is actually something that we want to pay attention to in a greater way than boy meets girl and gender roles and relationship roles, because it actually becomes bigger. Because what we see is that we have a person who is wanting to be taken care of, wanting to be cherished. And we have someone else who genuinely wants to cherish them. Beautiful. And then we see that the way that they do it may be a tad on the unhealthy side. The idea of, I'm too young, I'll let you take care of me because you're a whole year older. And if you look at the words, they're all about, you're too young to know what's good for you. I'm going to take care of you. And think about the intention, and think about us, and find yourself in the place of Liesel, and find yourself in the place of Rolf, the boyfriend. Because we have all been both at times, where we've asked someone to come in and kind of just tell me what to do, take care of me. And sometimes given our power away in the process. And sometimes we've been the person who's been, I know more than you. You don't know enough. You're not qualified. Let me take care of it for you, or take care of you. Where does love begin and dependency start coming in? That's the question that I think this song helps to remind us, is that we want to be independent and in relationship. And sometimes that's not that easy to do. Sometimes what looks like love is really just a way of wanting to dance together, but one person having a bigger influence on the other. And sometimes most times, we're just not qualified for that. Because we're not that much wiser than the person who already is their own person and needs to figure things out for themselves. So I wonder, for this one, just briefly, if we could look at the times when somebody says something. It happened to me this week, and I was so upset I actually literally lost sleep. Like, I woke up the following morning at 5 o'clock, just my mind going, oh my gosh, I let what this other person wanted to do and how they wanted to run things affect and influence what I did. Exactly this. And we both did what we did out of love for the project. But I ended up compromising what I wanted to do because of what this other person felt was the right thing to do. 16 going on 17. When do we give away our power? When do we insist that someone accept our care or our suggestion? What if we allowed people to make their own choices based on their own wisdom, even if they're 16 going on 17? Because in all reality, we're only 17 going on 18. We don't know that much more. Sing?
Yeah. You wait, little girl, on an empty stage for fate to turn the light on. Your life, little girl, is an empty page that men will want to write on. To write on. You are 16, going on 17, baby, it's time to think. Better beware, be canny and careful, baby, you're on the blink. You are 16, going on 17, fellows will fall in line. Eager young lads and roués and cads will offer you food and wine. Totally unprepared are you to face the world of men. Timid and shy and scared are you. There's things beyond your ken. You need someone older and wiser telling you what to do. am 17, going on 18. I will take care of you. I am 16, going on 17. I know that I'm naive. Fellows I meet may tell me I'm sweet, but willingly I believe. I am 16, going on 17, innocent as a rose. Bachelors, dandies, drinkers of brandies, what do I know of those? Totally unprepared am I to face the world of men. Timid and shy and scared am I of things beyond my ken. I need someone older and wiser telling me what to do. I am 17, going on 18. I'll depend on you.
You're so fun. Thank you. The amazing Linda Kidder. Oh, wow. Okay, we just have a few more songs. One of the most powerful songs in the musical occurs when Maria is challenged because she realized that she has fallen in love with this captain, and she doesn't know what to do. It was not what she expected, probably not what she might have considered appropriate in today's language. And so she does what all of us have done in the past, and that is run away. Run away. Run back to that what was safe, even if it wasn't quite hitting the note for us. Still better than that scary unknown. And wisdom, the mother abbess, sends her back to confront not just her fear, but also her joy. With the words, climb every mountain till you find your dream. Have you ever had a dream that scared you so much that you ran back to the thing that wasn't quite hitting the note for you, but it was safe? It might have been a relationship. It might have been a position. It might have been recognition for something, and you had an opportunity to touch it. And then, scared like a rabbit, you go back to safety. This idea of what I call upper limiting, the idea of it's too beautiful for me. I don't deserve this. It scares me, is something that we've all experienced at times, I'm sure. The movie Grumpy Old Men, there's a quote that has stuck with me, and that is, the only thing in this life that you regret are the risks you didn't take. And I wonder if we might consider the times that we want to run back and be in that place of not quite hitting the note, but safe, instead of knowing that it's going to be scary, knowing that it's going to take some commitment, but doing it anyway. I know some of us like watching tennis, professional tennis, and the French Open, well, they don't call it that anymore, the Roland Garros tournament was last week, and on the side of the court are the words, victory belongs to the most tenacious. And through the course of watching the tournament, what we saw is that there are times when people just wanted to give up, and then they worked through it. And sometimes it led to them winning the match, sometimes it didn't, but were they internally victorious? Absolutely. Consider being tenacious, climbing every mountain, fording every stream, following every rainbow, to find that which is calling to you, following your dream. Sing it, sister.
I'll do my best. Yeah. Climb every mountain, search high and low, follow every byway and every path you know. Climb every mountain, ford every stream, follow every rainbow till you find your dream, a dream that will need all the love you can give. Every day of your life, for as long as you live. Climb every mountain, ford every stream, follow every rainbow until you find your dream, a dream that will need all the love you can give. Every day of your life, for as long as you live. Climb every mountain, ford every stream, follow every rainbow until you find your dream. Thank you. Sing louder. All I can hear is me.
We all want to hear you. Will you close your eyes with me for just a moment? As we consider the idea of climbing every mountain till we find our dream. Consider all the times that you've wondered if you deserve that dream that you hold. How would it look if you knew that that dream was in your heart and in your mind because it was the mountain calling to you and telling you that this was yours to do? What if you realize that you don't have to do anything? to deserve this amazing satisfaction and joy that comes from following your dream. What if you could truly believe Jesus' words? Do not be afraid, an anxious little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. We hear Maria as she steps into accepting that she deserves something good. As I do, as you do, as the people you love do. They deserve to follow their every dream. Because they are alive. That is enough. They are something good.
Perhaps I had a wicked childhood. Perhaps I had a miserable youth. But somewhere in my wicked, miserable past, there must have been a moment of truth. For here you are, standing there, loving me, whether or not you should. So somewhere in my youth or childhood, I must have done something good. Nothing comes from nothing. Nothing ever could. So somewhere in my youth or childhood, must have done something good.
None of your experiences are enough to limit your access to a full life. You must have done something good. Claim that. We come to the final song, and then we'll do a little reprise. This song, Edelweiss, another one of the songs we sang in the car. And if you look at Edelweiss, it is a natural wildflower that grows on the side of the mountain, a natural outcropping from the mountain. And it grows amidst the rocks as well as in the meadows. And it survives the cold, and it survives the snow, and it survives the wind and the exposure to the elements. And it is a beautiful, beautiful flower. Could Edelweiss explain us? We are natural outcroppings of godness, of creation. We have resilience, as Edelweiss does. We have beauty, as Edelweiss does. So sing this. This song actually is a folk song in Austria. It's a love song to the mountains and to Edelweiss. Sing this as a love song to Creator, however that looks for you, and yourself, the natural outcropping of Creator. Imagine if you sang this to yourself every morning. Small and white, clean and bright. You look happy to see me. May you bloom and grow forever. Sing.
Edelweiss, Edelweiss, every morning you greet me, small and white, clean and bright. You look happy to meet me. Blossom of snow, may you bloom and grow, bloom and grow forever. Edelweiss, Edelweiss, bless my homeland forever. Blossom of snow, may you bloom and grow.
Thank you, Barb.
Bloom and grow forever. Edelweiss, Edelweiss, bless my homeland forever.
Oh. Thank you. Of the end of our experience today. We started with that brief discussion of the sound of music and the idea of going to the hills when your heart is lonely. Go up. You will find comfort. Then we moved to how do you solve a problem like Maria? A reminder that it's all included, that we are all, at times the nuns, at times the Maria, at times the person judging, and all we are is human. We move to my favorite things, a reminder that how we think and what we focus on and away are ways that we can shift our ability to respond. We sang Do Re Mi to remind us that the basics matter, that practice makes progress, and that it helps to have tools to build our lives so that we can sing music more beautifully. We followed with Climb Every Mountain, a song that affirms that it is our birthright and our responsibility to live lives that are full and abundant. We also learned about 16 going on 17 and reminded ourselves to stand with our own power and to allow wisdom to guide how we choose to request changes and show love for each other. And then we heard, I must have done something good. A reminder that somewhere in our youth or childhood, we did do something good. We were born. Therefore, it is the Father's joy to give us the kingdom. And finally, we spoke about Edelweiss. A reminder that we are a part of God, just as Edelweiss is a part of that mountain. And included in that is resilience and beauty and strength. So, when you're feeling sad, go to the mountains. When you're feeling judgmental, think of those nuns. When you're scared, think of something that is your favorite thing. When it feels like you've lost your way, go back to your principles. When you're unsure about what to do and whether or not you should agree with someone else, stand in your own power and do what's right for you. We can trust in whatever brings us joy and climb every mountain. So many lessons from this musical. So, let's end today. But before we do, I have to say, Linda Kidder, that was pretty darn amazing.
Aww.
Thank you.
Thank you. I had no idea how hard these songs were.
I'm sure.
When you first asked me, I went, oh, sure, yeah. And then I started working on them and just about had a heart attack, but it was a good challenge.
Well, you
Thank
rose
you.
to it, my love. You rose to it. Thank you, Linda.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you to our teams at the AV area, to those, Valerie and Glenn, to Cliff for doing coffee and tables, and Jill, I think, was part of that. And for those of you who haven't gone and looked at the backyard or even the front yard lately, but particularly the backyard, take a moment and do so, because Lyle has been working for months to reshape that backyard, and it is looking amazing, like picnic ready amazing. So we're going to look at that too. So thank you to Lyle wherever he is. Thank you to all of you for being here. I know today was a long service. I hope you had fun anyway. Let's end with the sound of music, and then we'll go right into I Am the Light of God, because that's what we always do. I hope you enjoyed today, and again, happy Father's Day to all of you for being born.
The hills are alive with the sound of music, with songs they have sung for 1,000 years. The hills fill my heart with the sound of music. My heart wants to sing every song it hears. My heart wants to be like the wings of the birds that rise from the lake to the trees. My heart wants to sigh like a chime that flies from the church on a breeze, to laugh like a brook when it trips and falls over stones on its way, to sing through the night like a lark who is learning to pray. I go to the hills when my heart is lonely. I know I will hear what I've heard before. My heart will be blessed with the sound of music, and I'll sing once more. My heart wants to beat like the wings of the birds that rise from the lake to the trees. My heart wants to sigh like a chime that flies from the church on a breeze, to laugh like a brook when it trips and falls over stones on its way, to sing through the night like a lark who is learning to pray. I go to the hills when my heart is lonely. I know I will hear what I've heard before. My heart will be blessed with the sound of music, and I'll sing once more. Thank you.
Shall we all stand and sing, I am the light of God? We'll stay right here. I am the light of God, I am the love of God, I am the power of God, I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is. I am the light of God, I am the love of God, I am the power of God, I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is. You are the light of God, you are the love of God, you are the power of God, you are the presence of God. Wherever you are, God is. You are the light of God, you are the love of God, you are the power of God, you are the presence of God. Wherever you are, God is. We are the light of God, we are the love of God, we are the power of God, we are the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
There we are.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you.